Hey, it's Pivotal. I'm back with part 2 of what's going on in the food service industry. In part 1, we looked at where's your tip going, and do you know that tip sharing is happening? Do you know that tip credits are happening? Tip sharing, where it's being shared among 2 or 3 people in the industry, not just the server who waited on you. Do you know that tip credit is happening, where part of a person's wages are reduced if they bring in more than a minimum wage? So you may not be blessing people the way that you think you are. You know, for workers in 2018, when this law came out, it basically made a way for employers to keep the tips and to spread them out, to pool them. The issue is it's also a backdoor for money to be kept that shouldn't be being kept, because where's accountability is the issue. If you think this may be happening, you need to go to your local Department of Labor website, see what the laws are for your state and what you can do about it. Now, also for patrons, it means that we don't know where our funds are going, which is a problem because it's deceptive. We think that we're giving a certain amount, and that person that we want to be blessing for the excellent service that they gave may not be getting that pay that we gave them or that tip. Now, credit card payments. It's interesting because on a credit card, when you write in a tip, 100% of it may not be going to the employee based on the state that you're in. Sometimes there are credit card processing fees, and those credit card processing fees may come out of your tip. Also, if there's a mandatory service charge for large groups where that extra charge is tacked on, we assume that that's a tip. No, mandatory service charges are 100% the right of the employer to decide whether or not they go to the server or not. They can keep 100% of that for the house. So if we're not tipping on top of that 15% that's already written into the check, that server may not get anything in terms of tips for that great service that they gave that large party. One more thing that I found out is that sometimes, even when the tips don't necessarily come in, they're being deducted from the person's wages. Let's say you're supposed to get the 15% of $30, right? Which is $4.50. Even if that person didn't pay $4.50, the workers are being charged as if the $4.50 was in there. Now, that is murder. Now, what does that mean for us? It largely means that as believers in the food service industry, be wise as serpents. Ask the questions up front when you're going to apply. How much of this do I get to bring back? And if you feel like you're being misused and other workers are being misused, become an advocate. But the biggest advocacy occurs beforehand, because so many people are afraid of losing their jobs once that happens. For us who go in as patrons, be gracious, understanding that you came to serve, not to be served, like I said before, right? Go and bless somebody. In James 5:4, the Lord says, the cries of the field workers whom you have cheated of their pay, their cries of those who harvest your fields have reached the ears of the Lord of heaven's armies. I don't think we want to go up against the Lord of heaven's armies. Listen, treat your people correctly. Take care of them. We want the fast of Isaiah 58:3 to mean something, where he says you fasted, but even while you fast, you keep oppressing your workers. I'm not impressed. What do you think about it? I mean, I think it's criminal. I think it's a problem. Drop a line below. It's Pivotal from CAPS. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for tuning in. Let us know what you think.